Amit, I reckon that at the moment we want to start by talking about the latest that you have, and we've seen you raise another 135 crores via your QIP. What are you going to use this fundraise for, and what are the working capital requirements at the moment? And are there more such fundraisers on the table?
So, firstly, thank you for inviting me on your show. It has always been a pleasure to talk to you. What this QIP fundraise has been is, as you rightly, thank you for showing the clip before this particular interview. Uh, the space programs are going to go in a much different trajectory than what they are today. So, and when it comes to space surveillance, and we've been listening to certain news that happened in the last couple of days prior, the space programs, surveillance-based space programs, and I needless tell you that Paras Defense is right in the thick of it. So, looking at the kind of opportunities that we have in front of us, be it space programs, be it our RF and microwave domain, or be it our Controp Paras JV, any one of these will require good amount of working capital. It assures you good amount of healthy growth, and I think all of this put together, we wanted to be ready for the opportunities that are in store for us.
Hi Amit, Anushi joining in here. You've mentioned about one of your associate companies, which is Controp Paras Technologies Private Limited. In fact, you also had an order win from L&T, which is about 305 crore. Want to understand from you, so talk to us about this order win. What does this mean for the company? And also want to understand, why was this award, why didn't you bid directly for this award, and why was it through an associate that we are seeing this order win for the company?
So, firstly, I would like to tell you what the product is. The product is an electro-optic infrared camera, if I would call it in a simpler way. This is a technology which is very critical in its own domain. India does not have this at the level that Controp delivers to the world. Controp is one of the world's leading companies when it comes to these kind of EOIR pods. And the reason for partnering with Controp was to bring this technology to our country. Now, when we are saying this, a lot of components which go into these kind of systems are manufactured by Paras themselves. Now, by partnering with Controp, who was initially our customer earlier, now brings us to a level where most of the components which go inside this particular camera will be manufactured within Paras, and Paras will be able to deliver more than 50% indigenous content in line with Make in India for this particular critical technology which is required for the Indian defense. Now, this particular program which L&T has won for CIWS, the camera will be a platform EOIR system, and then subsequently the same system can be deployed across various platforms.
All right. Moving on, Amit, also want to understand, considering your order flow, well, we also understand that you have, well, given a rough guidance of around 25 to 30% in terms of your top line growth over the next few years, over the next 2 to 3 years. Considering your order flow, considering the many steps India is taking, I'm sure you also have a lot of traction from your clients abroad as well. Have you considered upping your indication of what you may achieve with respect to revenues over the next few years?
As you must be aware that I am in a silent period, I cannot give you absolute figures, but yes, you are right. Our projections will turn out to be very conservative for this year and the coming years, as we can envisage.
Okay, Amit, that's fair that for now the guidance remains at the 30% mark that you've mentioned. But I want to also talk about the profitability. We've seen the margins. In fact, if you take Q1 in consideration, 28 to 29% was your margin range, and you aim for better profitability going forward. Want to understand what will lead to this kind of margins that you're looking at forward, and can we see this 28 to 29% as the new sustainable range going forward for FY25 and the near-term picture as well?
The first answer to your last question is yes, it will be the new normal and better from there. What is increasing and influencing our profits is our domain optics and optronic systems is doing much better and has good visibility, good funnel, and good opportunity in not just in defense, but like we discussed, in space as well. This is a drastic influencer when it comes to profitability. This is one. Secondly, the company is making a paradigm shift from a component manufacturer to a subsystem manufacturer, and now to a complete system manufacturer. So when we are doing complete systems, what we are doing is we are manufacturing a lot of those components which are going inside our own systems, manufactured in-house, which increases the profitability of the end product. So all of this put together, yes, we are looking at a better profitable business in the coming future.
Uh, Amit, going forward as well, do you think that the mix of, well, optics and optronics to defense could change, or do you think that the 70-30 mix could continue going forward?
So it's a what you say, chicken and an egg story. The defense engineering gives us a much faster turnaround time. It gives us reach into almost all the programs that are there in the defense sector. But optics and optronic systems, what it does is it one takes us into a tier one because of, say, a submarine periscope and these kind of products. It also is our step into space. So why Paras Defense and Space is because we deliver optics and optical assemblies for space applications. Now today we are in the process of already delivering space borne cameras. So you can see the surveillance requirements, the space surveillance requirements of the country will largely be catered by us in collaboration with ISRO. So you can imagine that the optics and optronic systems will grow, but defense engineering, because of the opportunity size that it is there in front of us, they will grow as well. There will be a slight skew where optics and optronic systems may be about 55-60%, and defense engineering might be about 40-45%.
Okay, so 55 to 60 is the mix that we are looking for the optics and optronic system. But now coming to your order book, firstly I want to understand what is the current updated order book value that one should look at. If you take FY24 in account, that stood at roughly around 630 crores. So from there on, is it at a similar level? And also in order pipeline and opportunity terms, where are we seeing more of these opportunities from in terms of geographies also and in terms of segments also, if you can break that down for us?
So like I mentioned to you, I won't be able to give you absolute figures, but I think if you put the math together, the order book has only been bettering from the last figures that you have. The product mix, if I have to mention, these will be optics and optronic systems largely to cover about more than 50%, and defense engineering will also cover about 45 plus percent. In the segments, in the application areas, if you want to say that it is a mix of both land, space, as well as naval applications, we are looking at how we can improve our foothold in the avionic sector, avionic as well as aerospace sector. And we would want to become one of those companies who would be putting EOIR or camera systems onto UAVs and drones. So that's the kind of growth we are looking at currently. All of this comes from our existing segments of optics, optronic systems, and defense engineering.
Amit, that's fair to understand where you're looking at the order opportunities coming in from. But in your business vision, you've also mentioned that you aim to be the #1 anti-drone company of India and amongst the top 5 in the drone companies in India. I want to understand, where do you currently stand at? What's your positioning like? What's the kind of market share you hold? And what is the growth like for the future in this area that you're looking at?
Maybe I also wanted you to ask me this question. Uh, yes, the anti-drone systems is a very, very critical and a very complex technology segment. And Paras is very proud that we are doing very, very significant and very important work in this area. Today, if I have to say, there are segmentations, there are the first line of defense and second line of defense. So first line of defense, there are all the big companies who are doing a lot of good work in the anti-drone segment. The second line of defense is where Paras is, and Paras is doing substantial work. Starting from next month onwards, we will be rolling out products which not only can be used by defense, but also all the security personals and everybody who has industrial security requirements can use products designed, developed, and manufactured in India by Paras anti-drone. Now, the opportunity size with Paras anti-drone is humongous, and we've kind of cracked the code by doing everything indigenous and controlling the cost. So we can not just be ready for the world, but we also cost effective when it comes to solutions being done for the armed forces. Now, this is on the anti-drone side. On the drone side, yes, we are being very, very selective. The low-hanging fruits being agricultural drones, we are there. Then we are looking at some drone opportunities other than that, say cargo drones and things like that. So we will be looking at drones very selective way, because this particular space has become very, very crowded. A lot of competition, a lot of good companies are also pitching in, and we kind of want to be a differentiator if we are into any particular segment, and hence we would be selective when it comes to what kind of drone technologies we would be
Right.
entering into.
Right. Okay. Well, Amit, we leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and taking us through all that that we've spoken about. It certainly has been another very insightful conversation.